What is up, Broski Nation? It's BroskiPlays and welcome to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. This roguelike game is created by the creator of Super Meat Boy, Edmund mcmillen, and this game is amazing. I've put over 1,400 hours in this game. It's such an amazing game, and I want to help you guys to get into the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. This game is really fun, and once you know the drill of it, you cannot quit. It's so addicting. So, before we're gonna do that, I want to ask you guys to like this video, be sure to subscribe and comment about what you want to learn about next. So, without further ado, here is the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus 101. With today's episode, I'm gonna start off with the basics and tell you everything you have to know when playing the Binding of Isaac for the first time. Let's do this. So right off the bat, you will get 3 save files. At the moment, mine is already finished. You need to try to finish 3 save files in order to get the highest achievement possible. So, but we're just gonna focus on a clear save file with nothing else. I have no mods enabled here. I'm just gonna show you the basics of this game. So the story is about Isaac and his mom. Isaac and his mom lived alone on a small house on a hill. Isaac was really a boy that just draws a lot and just did his own thing, while his mom watches Christian television programs. One day she hears a voice from above, from someone that pretends to be God. To be loved by God, she has to do exactly what she's told. First it starts really innocent. She's taken away Isaac's clothes, she locks him up in the room, she gets rid of his toys. Finally it gets to the worst point of God commanding Isaac's mom to kill Isaac. So her mom picks up her knife, goes to Isaac's room, notices that his mom is approaching him. So he finds a trapdoor under a carpet in his room, and so he descends down into the basement, trying to escape his mom, while at the same time trying to fight his demons. That's the story and the beginning of the Binding of Isaac, but there's so much more to it, and we're gonna find it out today together. Let's do this. So hopefully that made everything clear. Now we have options here. Right here you can change the volume of the sound effects and the music. Controls are for when you want to change to a normal controller. You can use an Xbox One controller, you can use the keyboard, and so there's basically different options of playing the Binding of Isaac. Map opacity, I'm going to be talking about that once we go in game. You have filters which you can apply to apply like a really smooth version of the game with like a really, you know, like drippy kind of style, or you just want the pixelated version. Gamma, which allows you to change the gamma of the game. You can change pop-ups so that no pop-ups show up, which is kind of something when you are kind of, if you hate that. You can change language. There are different language options. You have English, you have Chinese. Oh, okay, only Chinese and English, or Japanese at the moment. Active cam, this is something that changes, I believe, your camera. I'm not 100% sure. I have to search that up. Extra HUD, this one is very important. Extra HUD is a option that was added in I believe Rebirth or Afterbirth, which allows you to basically see your stats, which is kind of important. You can also change the way how the HUD is positioned. Then there's the found HUD. The found HUD allows you to basically see even more information. And then we have charge bars, which allow you to have a charge bar while using charge items, but that's a bit more in depth at the moment. So then we have all these options. We're just going to start it with new run, make it easy. Now you have a couple of options once you start the Binding of Isaac. In the top left corner you have a paper that is now showing a blank page. You might think, oh, that's a bug. No, this is actually a completion note, where you can see every single achievement that you made and which bosses you defeated. Now this is something that we're going to be talking about later in another video, so not right now. Then you have win streak. So win streak is something when you finish a run, like successfully finished a run, and you will get a 1 on your win streak. If you go and die a lot, you will get a -1, or you go in the negative. So that's really important. Then we have the hearts icon, the boot icon, and the attack icon. This indicates your HP, like the amount of hearts you have, your kind of speed and movement speed, and your damage, so your attack power. Then we have press tab to input a seed. In this game you can actually input a seed that allows you to play other people's runs. Each time you start a run, a random seed will be generated, which you can input in this section when tapping the tab button. And there you can input this so you can play other people's runs, which is pretty cool, but I'm not going to talk about it now. Then you also have 3 options. You have normal, hard mode, and greed. We're going to be talking about greed in another video another time. For now, we're going to choose Isaac, and we're just going to start the game and show you what it's all about. So first of all, you're going to see something like this. Are you sure you want me to die? And then we have our first floor, the basement. When you first start the game, the basement will be the only option when you start off the game. Now, let's start off with the controls. You can control Isaac with the arrow keys. No, actually with the WASD keys, which you can find next to your Q and A on your keyboard. This allows you to go left, right, up, and down. You can attack by using the arrow keys, which allow you to shoot tears. You can shoot tears when pressing left, right, down, and up. But now here comes the thing. The Binding of Isaac is a twin shooter. A twin shooter is basically a game where you can move and shoot at the same time. This allows you to dodge a lot. So you can basically go and shoot, and then you can go left, right, strafe a bit, you know. So it really has a lot of movement options. If you press the A button, you can drop a bomb. I will just show you right here. And an item is just something you can pick up. So that's basically the main movements of the Binding of Isaac. So with that out of the way, let's go into our first decision. So the Binding of Isaac is a random generated game where each room is randomly generated from a room list. Now, we can choose if you want to go left, up, or down. So let's go down. You can choose whatever the hell you want, it doesn't matter. So here we go. So this is our first new room. This is a sacrifice room. In a sacrifice room, you can find different. You can sacrifice your life for different hearts or other stuff. But we're going to be talking about that in another video. This is a bit too in depth for this particular time of the video. So let's go up. So here's our first room. We will find our first enemy. This is a an enemy which shoot a Ipecac. More about that later. And basically shoots a kind of a rock, I don't know, rock bomb explosion thing. So we just defeated our first enemy, and every time you clear a room in the Binding of Isaac, it will drop a pickup. So right now we got a half heart, which as you can see will fill our heart meter. So in the Binding of Isaac, there are 3 hearts for Isaac. Each time you pick up a heart pickup, you will fill that heart meter. Once it's full, you have to first get rid of your hearts in order to fill it again. There are more heart types in this game, but we're going to be talking about that later in the video again. So let's go to the next room. I'm not going to go to this room yet, because that is something I want to talk about later. So let's go left. So here we have another room. This time we have kind of carrot looking flies, and they want to try to kill you. So you basically try to kill them, and hey, we got a coin. So what happens if we pick this up? Well, there are 3 different pickup types in the Binding of Isaac that are your main focus. You got the penny, which is used to buy items in shops, to go to the arcade, and other stuff, which we're going to be talking about later. Bombs are used to bomb rocks, use it for all sorts of stuff. You can even use it to just kill enemies with it. And then we have keys. Keys are also really important. You use them to open chests, open doors, and other stuff. Especially the keys are really important for treasure rooms. And we're going to be talking about treasure rooms once we are finding one. Or found one. So here we go. Let's go to the first XL or large room. Right here we got a large room with a couple of these purple, pink kind of flies. These flies are moving in a radical direction, which means that they go in circles. Each enemy has their own pattern, which you can adapt to. In the beginning it will be pretty difficult because you don't know what the enemy does. But once you play the game a lot, you will understand each enemy pattern and you will understand how to deal with them in each situation. So, here is our first treasure room. So treasure rooms are indicated by a gold door with a crown on it. In each treasure room there is an item. Let's see what's inside this treasure room. Oh my god. Right off the bat we got one of the most rarest items in the game. Polyphemus grants a gigantic damage upgrade. Now this thing over here is a restock box, which we're going to talk about in another video for treasure rooms. So Polyphemus, as you can see, Isaac changes appearance for every item he picks up. Right now we picked a Polyphemus, so now he has a Cyclops kind of one ear. Plus our damage has increased to 15, which is pretty high. Our fire rate has also been increased. So let's just go over the stats really quickly. The movement speed over there, this little boot over there, is your speed of your movement. So this is the default movement. Then we have this little bow icon over there, which indicates your range. This right here is your shot speed, which is currently at 1. The higher your shot speed, the faster the tier is going to travel. As you can see, our range right now is not that high, but it's really important that you have high range, especially later in the game. Damage is indicated by a sword icon. Then we have a clover 3, which indicates your luck stat. The upside down cross indicates the devil deals, which I'm going to talk about later. And the cross that's not upside down indicates your angel deals. Again, talk about that later in the video. So let's move on and adventure inside the basement. Now, our first unique door right here is this one over here. This is a shop, or it could be another one, depends if there are multiple rooms, if there are multiple locked doors on the floor. So, but we're going to talk about each different room type once we get through them. So, for this one we need a key, because right now we don't have a key, so we cannot open it. So we get there once we have gathered a key. Now let's go to the next room, which is right here. Again, we got an enemy. This one will basically just chase us down once he sees us. Alright, we just got a new pickup. This is a bomb this is a double bomb pickup. So the double bomb pickup actually grants you 2 bombs instead of 1, which is pretty cool. So they have different variants of different pickups, which I'm going to talk about in another video. Again, this is really the basics. There's so much in-depth stuff that I can talk about Isaac, which will be too overwhelming for you beginners out there. So we now got 2 bombs. We have 2 options, which we can actually go and use those bombs, but we're not going to do that right now. We're first going to go inside this really menacing looking boss door. This is the boss. It's indicated by a skeleton with red light eyes, or with red glowing eyes. As you can see, it has a like a red kind of glow to it, and once we go in, we get to fight the boss. Each boss is randomized by a boss pool. There are a couple of bosses with each having their own patterns, attacks and other stuff. So let's go and see what boss we will encounter in this run. It's Monstro, the most basic one of the bunch. So Monstro is a boss that shoots a bunch of tears and actually bounces around in the room. Now, as you can see, he has different states and different attack options. Right now he basically shoots a bunch of tears. He basically he vomits a bunch of blood tears. Now, because we have such an overpowered item, it's really easy for us to get him. Now, when he dies, he drops hearts. Every boss drops hearts when he dies. This indicates that, this is kind of an indication that you killed it, and these are the hearts that's left of him. Now we're gonna pick up this heart, so we have full heart, that we have a full heart, that we have all the hearts that we need. Now, first item right here. This is crackjacks. Crackjacks grants a trinket, and it's basically one of the most like kind of basic items that just give you an item. Right now we got a really interesting trinket. This is called the fragmented card, which allows you to get 2 secret rooms on the next floor instead of 1. Now, you just hear me talk about secret rooms. I haven't talked about that yet, and that's a pretty good transition. I'm really proud of this myself, because I didn't expect this, but this is a perfect transition, because now we're going to be talking about secret rooms. Now, secret rooms are special rooms that happen on each floor. They are rooms that only can appear on certain conditions. Now, if you look at the minimap right here, you will see a couple of things. First of all, you will see that there is a gap between each of them. Right here there's a gap, and there are more gaps over here. Now, a secret room can spawn only when there are 3 or more, actually like that each side of the room, or almost each side of the room, is next to another room. So for example, this right here is a contender to be a secret room. Now, however, this could also be a contender for secret room. But a room that has been blocked off by, for example, rocks, cannot be a contender for a secret room. So the super secret room is one that is not next to any room whatsoever. So for example, a super secret room can never occur next to another room. Plus, another thing to keep in mind, super secret rooms tend to be really close to the boss room. They can also, super secret rooms or secret rooms can never spawn next to a boss room. That's something to keep in mind. You can never ever spawn a boss, you can never ever spawn a secret room next to a boss room. That's very important. So, let's start off by finding the secret room. So, the only contender that I know that could be a secret room right now is this here. So I'm going to throw a bomb just between this gap here. We press A. And now we just wait. As you can see, a hole opens up. Ooh, exciting piano music starts playing. Let's go inside and see what happens, or see what we get. Now, if you go inside a secret room, you will find a shopkeeper. This little guy over here is a shopkeeper. And a random item or a pickup or anything that can help you in your journey through the game. Now, fireplaces can be killed by using your tears. There are different fireplaces in the game, but we'll talk about that later. Now, let's talk about this item over here. This item grants you an option to skip floors. Now, we're not gonna use that because it's a bit more in depth right now. But you can also destroy keepers, but we're not gonna do that because we only got 1 bomb. And you can only get so many bombs. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go and show you the super secret room, which is a lot different compared to the other room. Now, the only one that I think of could be a super secret room is right here. So we're going to drop a bomb right here. Just going to wait a second, and look at that. There's another hole in the wall. So let's go inside it and see what happens. So we got another room. So this is kind of a cathedral looking thing. Now, you might think, oh, this is all new and stuff. Like, what is this? Well, each super secret room has an interior of one of the floors that you will encounter in your run. So this is the cathedral floor, but it's now used as a way for the super secret room to appear. Now we just got a new heart over here. It's the eternal heart. So the eternal heart grants you an extra heart pickup when you complete a floor without losing the eternal heart. This is really interesting because each of these eternal hearts, if you find 2 of them, you can get an extra heart pickup, which is really handy. Alright, let's move on to the next floor and just explore the game a little bit more. Alright, so each time you progress in the game, you will get to a kind of screen like that where you show Isaac or any of the characters you play as, and it shows like a little story, a little nightmare. Alright, so we're now in a new basement floor. Again, This time there are no controls on the floor. Really important. It only happens on the first floor. But there's one change. The treasure rooms now require a key. We got granted a free item on the beginning just to help us out on our journey. But now we have to pay a key in order to open the treasure room. So now let's go ahead and just explore the game. Alright. So here we got one of the easiest enemies in the game, which are dips. Dips are basically little poopies with little smiley faces, and they tend to spawn next to poop. Now you might think, oh, is there poop in this game? Yes, there is poop. And the cool thing is, poop is not only handy to just destroy for the fun of it, but it can also contain a pickup. Like for example, it can contain a coin or a heart piece. It just depends on if you're lucky or not. There's a really small chance of it dropping, but you should always try to destroy poop. Never leave out any poop, because it can really help you in really tough situations. Like for example, you need a heart, just try to destroy some poop. You can maybe get a heart out of it and continue with your run, which is really nice. So here we have another enemy. These are decapitated enemies that basically spawn or just spam random tears. Now what you just noticed is there was a black variant of that enemy. These are called champions. Champions have different abilities, different pickups, and they drop this different stuff. For example, we just got a black one which drops a bomb and explodes when it dies, so that's really interesting. But I'm gonna be talking about champions later on in this series, so because that is really advanced. Now we're gonna continue right on. And we find another of these rooms. These are called the L rooms. And L rooms tend to be in an L-shaped form. And they tend to have a couple of more enemies than normal. As you can see, we just got one that just jumps around. It's kind of a mix between a decapitated version of the enemy without the blood coming out. So, we just found out a new room. This is called a curse room. So a curse room is a special one because curse rooms are a risk and reward kind of thing. When you go inside a curse room, you take damage. Now here's the thing. When you take damage, you will lose the chance for a devil deal. Devil deals are something really important and really, how you say it, like valuable. You really want to get yourself a devil deal because it has a lot of great items. But more about that later. For now, we're not going to go inside the curse room because we will get a lower chance of finding a devil deal, which is not what we want. So we're not going to go inside that room. And again, here's the shop. We don't have any keys, so we cannot open it. So we're just going to continue forward to this room right here. Yeah. So already right off the bat, we found a new kind of rock. Do you see it? I'll give you a couple of seconds. It's really noticeable. You found it? Good. It's right here. This is called a tinted rock. Tinted rocks are special rocks that randomly replace other rocks on a floor. These rocks have a cross inside of them, and they often contain an item or a pickup. For example, this one may have and give us a soul heart or a blue heart. Just how you like to call them. I just call them soul hearts. Sorry for that. This is what you get when you're recording and people are just interrupting you. Anyway, we will talk about the tinted rock. So the tinted rock has a chance of giving you a soul heart. Now these soul hearts are really important because these are special hearts that you can pick up and they will be added to your health counter. But the special thing about them is that once they're removed, they are gone. You cannot regain soul hearts. You cannot refill them. They are just gone. So you have to be really careful, and they count as additional health that allows you to take devil deals and basically secure your kind of chance of getting a devil deal. So let's destroy one by using a bomb. As you can see, we just got a blue little heart. This is called a soul heart. There are a lot of different heart types in the game, but this is the most basic one that you will find the most often. No, actually it's the red heart and then the soul heart. There are more variant of heart types that we'll get through later in this video. Or actually in another video, I'm not sure. Alright, so let's go back because we haven't found the treasure room yet, which is also really important. So, we have a couple more rooms, so let's first go to the not L-shaped room. And there is one single enemy. This is called a, I forgot the name of it. It looks like a kind of ice cream that has been like really dripping, melted or something. Now this enemy is pretty, like, I don't say it's like really harmless because it drops creep, and creep can damage you, but more about that later. There's so much stuff about the Binding of Isaac, which I almost want to go in depth about every single thing, but I can't because it's really basic right now, which is really difficult for me. So as you can see, this is a special kind of enemy. It's called the Cyclops, and it shoots a tear, a red tear, and also drops creep. So it's kind of like a mix between the one that we just saw earlier and the one that only drops creep. So now we just got 3 bombs. However, we can still not access the treasure room because we don't have a key. So we have to try and get a key. Now there are multiple ways of getting a key. First of all is trying to find a treasure room. Now, right now we only have one option for a treasure room. And that's right here. So we're gonna open up this door and hopefully we get it. See? We just got a treasure room. And look at that, we just got a different kind of treasure room. Secret room, pardon me. So we have 3 different pills. This is a brand new addition to this already insane amount of information. So after this floor, we're gonna stop this video just to make an end to it. Alright, so these pills can change the way how the run happens. Now, each pill is randomized from a pill pool, and they all have different effects. For example, this one could be like different from the other one, and this also goes for the pickup appearances. So for example, this one could be a really good pill in one run, but could be another really bad pill in another one. Like the pickup appearance doesn't relate to the effects, which makes this game makes the pills really a risk and reward thing, because there could be good stuff and bad stuff about them. But for now, let's try out some and see what happens. So our first pill is a white one. Let's see what happens by pressing the Q button. So this pill makes Isaac a little bit bigger. If you get 3 of these pills, you will get a transformation called Stumpy. We won't be talking about transformations now, but keep your eye out for another video where we talk about transformations. Alright, next pill. This is a red with white pill. Let's see what this one has in store for us. Alright, we got our first negative pill. So as you can see, this pill basically brings our range down. So that's a bad pill. Alright. Stats down, bad pill. Remember that. And then we have this yellow one. Let's see what this one does. Pheromones. So pheromones is a pill effect where you kind of fart a really disgusting thing, and you get a, what's it called, and you can like basically charm enemies with it. But yeah, we got nothing from these pills, also no keys, so we're just gonna continue forward and try to get the super secret room and hopefully get that key. Now there are 2 different options for the super secret room to appear. Let's first check out this place. So we have 2 options. It could be over here or it could be over here. So there's one in a like 50% chance that we have it right. So let's hope it's right here. Okay, we got lucky. It's right here. We got the right option. We don't have any bombs anymore. So this is one of the many different secret rooms. Now these red fireplaces are really annoying for beginners. So red fireplaces are special fireplaces that shoot, what's this called? It shoots a tear each 3 seconds. Now for beginners this might be a nightmare because you don't know why they're shooting that, right? So keep that in mind. Always destroy red fireplaces first if you see them. It's really important because if you don't, they can literally kill you really easy if you're not careful. So these little chests right here are bomb chests. There are different kind of chests that we'll get to another video, so keep that in mind. Alright, so there are also these kind of barrels called TNT. If we hit these TNT barrels, they will explode. Now what we can do is basically put these bomb chests next to the TNT barrel, and it will basically give us a free bomb. So let's do that. And look at that, we just got a new item. So, chests can contain pickups or items. Now, we just got our first item. This is Head of the Keeper. Head of the Keeper grants you penny tears. Now, what do penny tears do? Every time you hit an enemy, it will drop a penny. This can be really handy when you need coins. So there we go. We just got 2 bombs and a key, which means we can open up the treasure room. Yay! So let's open up the treasure room and see what we can, what we get, right? It's always important to use your keys for treasure rooms first, because items can really make your run overpowered. Alright, we got a really nice item right here. It's Leo. Leo is an item where you basically can run over any rocks you want, like this. You can just go around. It's like literally one of my favorite kind of zodiac items out there. So I like to just go around and destroy every single rock and see if I can find a crawl space. Which will be cool if we find one, so I can talk about a little bit more. Which is a crawl space is another secret, which hopefully we find, so I can show you off what it does and what it is. So maybe if, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you ever played the NES version of Legend of Zelda, alright, we just unlocked Lucky Rock for destroying a bunch of rocks. So Lucky Rock, you unlock Lucky Rock if you destroy like loads of rocks. So that's what we just did. We just unlocked that item. Pretty cool. Alright, so there's no crawl space in there. So a crawl space can appear in just a random rock. So if we just destroy these rocks, there's a chance of finding a trapdoor, which will grant you either a skip to the next level, or it can give you the crawl space. So we're gonna hopefully find it. It will be nice for this episode, just to teach you guys about it. I don't think we are going to find it. We still haven't found the shop. I'm gonna be talking about the shop later in another video. So we also have these little pots, which have a chance of either spawning spiders or pennies, or even a trinket, but you have to unlock that. Alright, I think that is every rock. Oh no, wait, there are more rocks over here. Let's hope we find it still. Come on. Alright, we didn't find it, but there's also a chance of finding a trapdoor with the boss. So let's go to the boss and let's defeat Larry Jr., also a really easy boss. So as you can see, it just dropped a penny right there. Again, there's one thing that is different in my game, and that's that I have a shader on right now from a mod. I haven't disabled that, so sorry for that if that really bothers you. I will try to disable it next time in the next video. But yeah, so we're gonna kill this enemy, Larry Jr. It's an enemy which just roams around, and we just unlock Monstro 2 for destroying or like defeating the basement for the first time. Now we just got a bunch of pickups. We got some coins, so let's go ahead and get this item here. This one is called Binky, and it allows you to get a bit of a tear down, which means that you can shoot your tears faster. This little stat over there, this kind of fire rate, when it goes down, that's a good sign. If it goes up, that's a bad sign, because it's the higher this stat is, the longer it takes for each tear to fire. Alright, so I'm gonna leave this. Why? Oh. Yeah, there's another thing. I forgot that devil deals don't stay if they go here. But it's a good sign, because devil deals are a bit in depth, and we're gonna talk about it in another video. So, anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching to the first basic The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus 101 episode. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about the different rooms you can encounter and what they all have in store for you. Alright, this was BroskiPlays. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and see you guys all next time. And as always, have a good one.